and let us all do we can to build a better future.
I am a huge supporter of third parties. We should have a true parliamentary system. I believe that we need to definitely get rid of this one party / quote unquote two party system that we have. You are part of the Movement for People's Party Advisory Council. I think for a lot of our viewers, a lot of people are starting to back away from the Democratic Party. People are finally seeing that the two party system is one the same. They're all friends with each other.
Does it work?
How do we, so with Movement for People's Party, how do we really get to start building infrastructure and actually making real change? Because third parties in this country are unfortunately have to deal with a monolith of corporate media propaganda against them. There are state and federal laws that prevent them from being on the ballot. How will Movement for People's Party be different? Because, if we actually tried to host a third-party presidential debate. Yeah. The only presidential candidate that acknowledged to be on our show was Mark Charles for this debate. The response we got from the Greens and Libertarians was, we want to wait so we can be on the stage with Trump and Biden.
If we're not on TV with Trump or Biden, no debate happens, which we thought was a very silly way to view the situation.
Yeah. So how will Movement for People's Party be different?
And now you know why both of those parties are fucking wiped out, right? And now you know why, because it's stupid, ridiculous decisions like that. And so what's your question about how do we start a third party?
Well, was Movement for People's Party, how will it be different? Because I think a lot of people are just trying to look at, where if we're all politically homeless, where can we call home?
Yeah.
Here's how it will be different. Imagine if AOC, Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush, and the rest of the squad weren't inside the Democratic Party. Imagine if they were in a third party, no matter what the party was, whether it was the Green Party or the People's Party or the Socialist Alternative Party, whatever, but they were all in the same party. And then there would be no incentive for them to not work together. There would be no incentive for them to not withhold their vote. They would actually be the Freedom Caucus. They would actually flex their power. But right now, since they've got elected through the Democratic Party, their loyalty and pressure is to the Democratic Party. And so that's going to be the difference. And you talk about ballot access. So, I made a joke on my show. I'm going to go primary Mark Pocan. And then when the media asked me, what is your platform? I'm going to go, my platform is whatever he's for. And they're like, what do you mean? What do you think about his position on abortion? I'm for whatever he's for. Well, why are you running then? Because I'm going to actually fight for what he says he's going to fight for. He's not. I will. So whatever Mark Pocan says, gives lip service to, I'll actually fight for. That's my party. That's my platform. And that's my campaign. And that would make for hilarious interviews. So that is the difference between a People's Party and those motherfuckers who are inside the Democratic Party. I saw someone made the argument that, well, you can't call the squad sellouts because they don't take corporate money. Okay, yes, you can. I don't care why they sell me out. All I care is that they did. They sold me out for their own celebrity. They sold me out for their own brand. And it's nothing to do with them not taking corporate money. What is the point of voting for people who don't take corporate money if they roll over to the people who do? The answer is there is no point. And what hashtag Forced to Vote did was reveal that. I don't give a fuck that they don't take corporate money. I give a fuck that they fight for me and they fight for the shit that they campaign on. And when they don't, they are selling me out, and fuck you.
I think that's pretty succinctly put.
I think it's well said. And I have to say this, I'm really excited for the future for the Movement for People's Party. We've done a lot of coverage of the Greens and Libertarians here in Illinois.
And now we're moving into the People's Party.
Yeah, and I have to say this, we are more than excited to find out what kind of work that they'll do here in the state of Illinois when that stuff does happen.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so right now, I actually remember back when, because you've been consistent for a very long time, I've actually shifted a little bit much towards you on this issue. I remember when we first met in person, which was in the Chicago when we had our radio show, and way back then, your point was the exact same what it is now. We need to move outside the party. We need to have a third party. We have to move into this. And I remember my point at that point was I was like, oh, Bernie's really nice and shiny. And mine was, okay, let's do a little both. Let's get in and out. And I can just feel that really since that conversation that we had, I've been moving much more over to that. And I think that in the end, yeah, you're right. It's the pressures of being within the parties are too set. They're too put in a way that no matter from almost anyone, no matter what you do, if you get into there, even with the best intentions, you're going to be corrupted. You're going to be corrupted by the party. You're going to be corrupted. And I remember one thing I think you mentioned on one of your shows which was that Nancy's actually really nice to AOC, and then you get the mama bear coming out of that. But when you get into that cauldron, they have every piece of advantage against you to make you do exactly what they want, to make you say everything that you fought for, I can't accomplish. I'll just try and wait to work up a committee because that'll make a difference. I really don't have a question. It's just
Can I
yeah.
say before I forget? Yesterday, AOC tweeted out, and this was remarkable. She tweeted out, "Hey, what are you guys ready to push for?" And she started listing policies. Now, notice she didn't say fight. She didn't say fight. She said, "What are you guys ready to push for?" And then she didn't say Medicare. She said healthcare. And she didn't say she didn't say Green New Deal. She said climate. Now, I don't think I'm making too much out of that. I mean, to think that she didn't know what she was doing right there is obvious. I mean, she does know what she's doing. And the people who say, "Oh, I don't think that AOC, when she sells us out and votes with the establishment, is doing it on purpose for her own interest." I just think she's naive. Now who's being naive, Kate? AOC is naive. That fucking woman is conniving, calculated. She's a fucking sly fox. She's got elected as a politician. She's one of the most powerful people in the entire world. Don't be a fucking chump for AOC, okay? She's not naive. It's very infantilizing. In fact, it's sexist when you do it. She's like, somehow she's just a dumb little girl. No, she's very smart. She's very sly. She's a smooth operator, and she's calculating. And that's what those tweets show. And the fact that she said that my words were violence shows that she's trying to get my fucking channel taken down. And what she's trying to sell is that I don't like being critiqued from my left, and I'll do every underhanded, dirty thing to fight back against an activist like me. That's what she did. She fought against me, an activist, because I came at her from the left to ask her to hold up her own campaign promises. And how did she react? She ignored me. She lied to Justin Jackson, didn't show up to our town hall, and then she smeared me by saying I was doing violence, knowing that is the thing that'll get my channel taken down.
Damn.
That's who AOC is, everybody. Sorry to fucking bring the news to you. I know Kyle Kalinske doesn't want to believe these truths yet, but it will happen.
There's one last thing I want to bring up, and I think this is kind of breaking story, but you'll probably maybe get a good laugh out of it, Jimmy. But Biden just selected for labor secretary.
And by the way, can I just stop and say Kyle Kalinske is an awesome dude. His idea to start the Justice Democrats was a fucking awesome idea. I liked it. And he was on board with hashtag Force the Vote. And he was the most eloquent and strongest supporters of hashtag Force the Vote. Kyle Kalinske is the real deal. I owe him a great debt of gratitude.
And Kyle Clancy's been doing some great work, as did everyone else who was part of that town hall. And what's really sad is that I'm quoting Justin Jackson from that town hall, is everyone's story is so relatable because these aren't flukes, these aren't just random events. Millions of Americans are dealing with this nightmare of our health system. So I just want to get your comments on this real quick. Biden just selected for labor secretary Mayor Marty Walsh. With apparently the position of labor secretary was supposed to go to, I guess, Bernie. I just kind of want to get your thoughts on this little recent pick that Biden has.
Well, his pick for labor secretary.
Yeah.
Did that happen today?
Yeah, Mayor Marty Walsh, labor secretary.
Just happened.
So I don't know who that is, but it just goes to show you that I had some inside sources earlier that said that what Bernie was pushing for the Secretary of Labor, but I had sources that said that he was willing to settle for a go fuck yourself. And
seemed to have paid off.
And he did. So it really paid off. It was good that he went out and campaigned as hard as he did for Joe Biden, because it really paid off for him and the progressive movement that he represents. Another great job, Bernie. Thank you.
Okay. So, what's up?
No, I want to make sure we don't keep you too long, Jimmy. It's been a real pleasure talking, and we're gonna keep doing our best.
I watched that video. Yeah. I watched that. I'm halfway through that video.
Oh, the one that I sent you in the link.
Oh, Power.
Yeah. That's the one I tell everyone to watch. If you know how this power is built, you know how to destroy it. You know how to rebuild it.
All right. With that being said, I think as we wrap this up, Jimmy, for all our viewers who are perhaps maybe feeling politically homeless or disenfranchised, what do you want to say to them to at least, to keep the fight going?
The way that we affect them now is by direct action and by starting a third party. So they have to have something to be scared of. There has to be a place for people to go. And right now there isn't. They can only go back into that fucking party. So there's got to be someplace else for people to go, and we're providing it. And it's called the People's Party, and it's the peoplesparty.org. Now, it's brand new. We've got ballot access. And people like to say, oh, you can't get ballot access. Well, the Green Party under Jill Stein had ballot access in 46 states. So they lost it under Howie Hawkins, but that's because of fucking COVID. So this is not doable. This is very doable. The People's Party, by the way, have already hooked up with the top ballot access specialists in the country, are working with us. We already have people defecting from the Democratic Party. A guy from the DSA in New York who got elected as a state rep is jumping. There's somebody from the Democratic Party in Colorado who's jumped. So that's what we need to have happen. We need to create a place where people who are unhappy with the Democratic Party can go. Okay. And, the Republican Party was an anti-slavery party, right? And they were a regional party. And when President Lincoln was elected. So this idea that this is undoable is more propaganda. It's just propaganda. Is it hard? Yeah. Is it harder than taking over the Democratic Party? No. Taking over the Democratic Party is not possible.